Well, good evening. My name is Jeff Pringle, and I have been bullied a time or two in my life. And it just amazes me when I watch the news or read the newspaper how many people are bullied every day. You got to ask yourself is it actually bullying, or is somebody just having fun teasing? It's really hard to tell. If a person is actually playfully teasing, or if he's bullying, there's a fine line between it. Teasing is when two or more people act together in a way that is fun to all the people involved, and it doesn't involve physical or emotional abuse. So when you look at bullying, there's three main components that suggest what bullying is. First, bullying is an aggressive behavior that involves unwanted negative actions. Bullying involves a pattern of behavior repeated over and over. Bullying involves an imbalance of power and strength. The American Society of Positive Care of Children reported that 28% of middle school children, grades 6 through 12, experienced some type of bullying in their uh, schools. 6% of these students experienced cyberbullying. And then it goes on to say that 20% of the U.S. high school children, grades 9 through 12, experience bullies. 16% of those high school students experience cyberbullying. Then, as I did some research more about bullying on my own, the National Society of Occupational Safety Health also reported that there has been a loss of employment amounting up to $19 billion and a drop of $3 billion due to workplace violence. Isn't that just amazing? So, what is bullying? The creator of OU's bullying prevention program, Dan Olius, says a person is bullied when he or she is exposed repeatedly over time to a negative action on the part of one or more other persons, and he or she has difficulty defending himself or herself. So now that we know what bullying is, what kind of bullying is out there? Some of you may know a few, but I came up with several. One is verbal bullying. Verbal bullying is derogatory comments, name calling, taunting, verbal abuse. Social bullying. It's when you don't allow somebody in your group. You make fun of them, you embarrass them, spread rumors about that person, and constantly embarrassing them in public. That is social bullying. Physical bullying, that's hitting, kicking, biting, shoving somebody, or even spitting on somebody is physical bullying. racial bullying. I don't know about you, but in the state of Ohio, where I'm from, small county, Tuscarawas County, we have Hispanics, we have Guatemalans, and then of course we have the whites and the blacks, and there's so many times that somebody will say something that they shouldn't about a black person, or say something about a white person, or treat them different. I seen a waitress wait on tables, and she had a black couple at one of her tables, and she did not give them the treatment that she gave her other tables that only had white people at it. So, racism causes things to go into racial bullying, sexual bullying. It could be a man wanting to have his way with a woman, or making comments about how a woman looks, or a woman talking about how a guy looks, or making comments about a guy, or forcing a guy to have sex with her. It could be a man with a man, or a woman against a woman. It just amazes me how much sexual bullying you hear about. And then there's cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is through the use of a cell phone or the internet. With the technology we have, you hear cyberbullying more. Cyberbullying more and more. You see it on Facebook, you see it on Instagram, you see it on Twitter. People get on their computer or on their phone, and they have to make those comments about how that person's dressed, or how fat that person is, or even how skinny that person is. They run that person down, and it makes that person feel terrible. It gives them, thoughts of suicide, or maybe just not that far, but it put them into a form of depression, because they hear this person saying, "Hey, you see so and so how fat she is and ugly she is," and next thing you know, somebody else is saying it, and then that person's starting to believe that they're fat and ugly and worthless, and that they will start staying in their own home and not go anywhere, and go into that stage of depression. People threaten people. Hey, if you tell somebody I did this, I'm going to kill you, or I'll make sure this will happen to you if you say something to this person, and those threats are there, and that's showing strength and power from one person to another, and it's bullying. And then the last one I could think of is like when somebody comes in and hey kid, give me your lunch money. Takes his lunch money, or takes his hoodie, or takes his new shoes, expensive shoes from somebody. That person will come back and take his lunch money a second time, or a third time, or not just off of that person, but he'll go to another person to get money, and another person to get money. And all these people, excuse me, and all these people see that this guy's doing this, and they are terrified with him, because they don't want to give up their money, but yet they know if he says anything to him, they're going to have to give up their lunch money. And that bullying, having their way with one another, is just terrible. So, what are we going to do about it? That's the thing. We need to figure out a way to stop this from happening. One of those ways is by talking with our children. We can let them know what bullying is. We can give them an explanation of what the warning signs of bullying is and what to look out for. We can let the children know that how bullying affects people and how it will affect them, how it would cause them to go into depression or start using alcohol and drugs just to get them out of their mind, get that bully out of your mind. So I'll start using drugs but it's not just the people that are being bullied, it's also the people that are doing the bullying, that start skipping school or start failing in grades and start doing drugs and stuff. So you need to watch for that. We need to maybe establish a safe school climate. Let the kids know that they could come to me and talk to me. If somebody is bullying them, let me know. I'll get you help, or I'll talk to that person, or I'll see what I can do to help end that situation. The federal law requires that schools address harassment based on race, color, national origin, sex, or disabilities. But there is no true law established so far today about bullying. Yes, they can look at if somebody threatens to shoot you for telling that they did this, or physically abuse you because they don't like the way you look. There's laws against that, but there's no actual law against bullying. So we have to look at our own states and see what kind of anti-bullying laws each state has, but there's no federal law against bullying. So that's my suggestions on how to prevent bullying. I hope this didn't bore you. Have a good night.